We are back. We are live once again. You are listening to Beyond Sight and Sound, metal detecting and treasure hunting radio for you, the always valued and appreciated listener. And it looks like we do have some people starting to come into the chat here. I see Past Pursuits, Suki, Ohio Relic Hunter,
Beer Barrel, Mr.
Beer
Chris.
Barrel.
Hello, Brother Chris, man. Sorry I didn't get back with you when you called me. Been a little busy.
Did he try to call you this evening shortly before the show?
I can't remember exactly when. I noticed I had a voicemail and saw his number on there. But anyway, I couldn't get to the phone, so apologize for that.
Well, I know he called me shortly before the show to say he just received a package.
Uh-oh.
Yes. As the listeners remember, he won the Detect America N-Series electrolysis unit last Wednesday.
Outstanding.
And he just received that in the mail. He sounds thrilled. So,
well, there'll be more information on that piece as we move along.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I told him if he had any questions, be sure and check out the DA pages. Drop me a line if he needed some information. Because I use one of the N-Series units myself. Speaking of Detect America, the way it looks, it's going to be another double shot for the listeners, WNL, after Beyond Sight and Sound tonight.
Nice.
Right. And, also, speaking of Detect America, our guest tonight is also involved with Detect America. Coin hunter, metal detectorist, coin collector, been collecting coins for over 20 years. I believe something like 22 years. Very well versed in the coins. Even coin dealer himself works in a coin shop. And, you need some coin supplies in a pinch. Definitely the gentleman to talk to. I gave him a call this morning and said, "Oh, I'm in a bind. What can you do?" I should have a package arriving shortly. I mean, within probably an hour after I got off the phone with him, I already had notification with a tracking number and all that.
Outstanding.
But our guest tonight, most of you have seen him, have heard him, especially if you follow the Detect America shows, Detect America Live, on live stream and 1,000 mics. If you haven't, shame on you. Our guest tonight is none other than Drew Waholek from Detect America. How's it going, Drew?
I gotta tell you, it's a bit strange to go on a show that starts on time, and now I know for a fact that when we start late, it's definitely not my fault.
Absolutely.
Absolutely not my fault, and this is the proof right here. We started right on time, everything was smooth and great, and now I just get to blame everything on blame it on Gene or Joe or Frank or a little bit of all of them.
Yeah, there you go. When it happens, you can go, "Not my fault, not my fault. I know.
I have
it
proof."
It wasn't me.
That's right. You don't believe me, you can listen to the archive. And it looks like we've got some more people coming into the chat.
Yeah, we've got Past Pursuits in here. Korsuki, as always. Cool Beans. Mr. Bill's in. Ohio Relic Hunter. They're chatting it up right now. Welcome all the listeners to this show.
Absolutely. Well, I guess, hopefully, some of the listeners brought their coin questions, or at the very least, brought their appetite for information.
Knowledge is power.
I've got my appetite, but I'm fixing my appetite with some bacon jerky.
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
Bacon, jerky, and gummy bears.
What a combination.
Now you threw me for a loop.
This must be how he stays so wired in the field. Now, I guess for the listeners, we'll put that out ahead of time if they've got any sort of questions for Drew. The call-in number's 419-549-5744. Check the top of the screen. You can find it there as well. We'll try to work in the calls as they come along. We have had some little bit of internet issues today, a little bit of a Skype hiccup, system hiccup, but everything seems to be running smooth right now, so knock on wood, we'll roll with it.
Absolutely.
So I guess to start off, maybe you'd like to let the listeners know how long you've been in the hobby, how long you've been collecting coins, and maybe even what machine you run now, Drew.
Well, probably got heavy into coins when I was about 12. I'll be 35 this year, so roughly 22 years. I started out, it was great because the coin clubs that were in the neighborhood, they met at the church right up the street from my house on my corner. So it was nothing to be 12 years old, walk out the door, go up to the corner, and hey, there I am, hanging out with a bunch of old guys and a lot of coins. They were very generous. They were very forthcoming with their information. They were very nurturing when it came to teaching some young kid about the hobby. And,
very nice.
And you know, it's very important to do that, because as you go to these clubs, you don't see a lot of young guys or a lot of young kids involved. You've got some, but you don't have a whole lot. You know, you walk in and everybody's gray-haired. And
right.
If we don't get youth involved, it kills the hobby.
It does.
Right.
And even more than that, it kills the history we're after, because especially in the Civil War aspect of it, a lot of them old brass items, which is not the same brass we have today, will not be around another 20 years.
Yeah, there's times I'll go into a field and I'll pull little pieces of brass out and it just disintegrates in my hand. The older the site, the more fragile the items are.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
And the more critical it is to get those items.
Yes.
It's up to us to make sure we pass it down, just like the veterans that I know, that the reason that I do what I do. If it wasn't from somebody else, I've always liked history, but I'd have probably still had a shovel and a sifter looking for arrowheads and all that stuff. I wouldn't have took it to the next level, so to speak, if I hadn't have been a little investigative. But I mean, there's a lot of people that was involved in getting me going where I was going.
Right. How long have you been, you've been collecting coins then for 22 years.
Yep.
How long have you been detecting?
Detecting, I started when I lived in Illinois. You know, it's funny because one of my best properties that I've got permission on, and it's roughly 120 acres. I used to go arrowhead hunting on their fields long before I even played with a metal detector. So all those times that I was walking those fields, you know, I look at the shoebox that I have basically full of stuff that has come out of this particular property. And I just think, man, you know, how many times did I walk over this, you know, and not even have a clue it was here? But detecting I started doing when I lived out in Illinois. I was there for 8 years. I'd say probably roughly around 2005. My next door neighbor really got me into it. Spoiled right off the bat. He would let me use his E-Track.
Oh, nice.
What a way to start.
A silver snipper, I call it.
And I have one now. I've got the E-Track. I've got an Ace 250, which I absolutely love. And I've got a MindLab Go Find 60. So
nice.
You know, I've got 3 decent machines. I use the Garrett Carrot pinpointer. I use the old pinpointer. You know, so my equipment's pretty spread out as to what I use. You know, and it doesn't matter. You don't need a $2,000 machine to go metal detecting and find stuff.
No, you don't.
Right.
You can go out with the most basic of models and find some really great stuff. You got to get the coil over the target.
That's it, man. Got to know the tones.
Absolutely. And shout out Dirt Flicker and Grandma Tam. Just made
Dirt
the chat.
Flicker and Grandma Tam, welcome.
So then you've been detecting
10 years.
10 years? I'm assuming you're still with it, so you've been making some good finds. You're at least keeping your interest.
This year has been very slow with the detecting. Last year I finished off with 135 silver coins for the year. Actually, you know, I belonged to the Ring Wars page, and I got the trophy for 3rd place but I had not posted all of my silver coins. So I probably could have squeaked first through, but hey, it's not about first, second, or third. It was really nice to receive the trophy from them. That was really cool because I was not expecting that.
Right, and let's
Right.
give a shout out to Mr. Ryan Hollaboo.
Yeah, they're good folks over there.
And I just noticed that you could kind of say Big Brother's watching in a sense. I see Detect America just appeared in the chat.
Yes, I see that.
So he's late then. So yet again, that just solidifies my argument that we don't start late because of me.
Right, not my fault.
So, but no, like I was saying, this year's been pretty slow. I've been working a lot. I'm running a coin shop for a gentleman. I'm doing my own coin business on the weekends and evenings. I don't get a lot of time to go out detecting, and I haven't had much this year.
I don't think I mentioned it at the beginning of the show, but you're very, very active in coin clubs, too.
Yeah, 6 of them. One of them I'm the president of, and another one I'm an officer for, and then 4 I'm just an average member. Yeah, I'm pretty busy with that stuff. But I go to the clubs because it allows me to buy and sell things. So I make money. I get rid of things I don't need. I pick up new merchandise for my other customers. So it's a win-win situation to do that.
Right.
Plus a lot of these guys are the guys that got me into collecting, so it's great to hang out with them and actually be able to talk to them as adults now.
Oh, absolutely, I agree. And I know, excuse me, that we had mentioned Monday on Super Drew's show, I had mentioned that this week's guest had actually called me, and I suppose I should elaborate a little more. This was all kind of late notice. Drew happened to have a free Wednesday come up, and he calls and he says, hey, you got anybody scheduled? How about doing a show about coins? You know, the way we preserve them, stuff like that. So naturally, I jumped on the opportunity.
Yeah, because we had talked several months ago, and I haven't been able to do anything on a Wednesday night because 4 of the clubs I belong to, they meet the first, second, third, and fourth Wednesday of the month. So we have a 5th Wednesday this month, and there's no club meeting, so I've got a free night. Other than that, my Wednesday nights are shot.
So that worked out quite well.
And I just, I couldn't let Frank have all the thunder,
Right. I know where you're at, though. I got some of my YouTube months ago and checking things out, and I had a message from some guy named Josh Kimmel. I didn't know who that was, and I was so busy. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll answer it. And then something happened. I think, what was it? 3 months later, Josh, I answered that message, and
yeah, something like that.
I ended up on the show, and good Lord, look what happened. But anyway, got to answer that man's messages a little quicker.
Well, that's the way it goes. We all have things come up. Last week with Frank, we discussed electrolysis and the ways that we can clean some of the artifacts that we find. But Frank had even mentioned himself, not every find is a candidate for electrolysis.
No, he's absolutely right.
Some finds there are a more proper way to deal with them.
You have to look at what the item is. You have to look at the material it's made of. You have to look at the condition that it's in as it sits. A lot of the copper coins that I dig, they're encrusted. And if you remove that crust, I lose the detail. The coin is just a metal slug now.
Not to mention you've just removed that layer of protection.
Yeah.
That was preserving whatever little bit of detail was left.
I know that's happened to people too, and I would be crying.
My very first half cent that I ever dug was a 1794 half cent. I dug it last year when Brandon and the guys from Dirt Fishing America were out here visiting us. I still haven't cleaned that coin. That coin is still sitting in a little plastic flip. All I did was rinse the heavy dirt off of it. I refuse to mess with that coin just because I am not taking the chance of losing. I can see the date on it. I'm not losing that.
Right. At this point, you know exactly what that coin is.
Exactly. So I don't feel the need to go crazy on it. It's put away, it's left alone, and there it shall stay until somebody wants to take a peek at it.
I think some people, especially the newcomers to the hobby, they get a silver coin out of the ground. First thing they want to do is, oh, what is it? And they start to rub it.
It drives me nuts when I see people doing that, just because I'm looking in on both sides of the spectrum.
Right.
I'm looking at a coin as a detectorist and as a coin collector. If the first time that you take that sandy, gritty dirt and you rub that right across the face of the coin, especially silver is very soft. So it's going to just scratch right across. Now, you may not be able to see those scratches with the naked eye, but once you put a magnification to that, it's going to look like your cat just went to town on a scratching post. You just don't want to do that. Your best option when you dig any coin, really, is have yourself a little small size. I like the little tackle boxes that you can buy at Walmart.
Right.
And I put some cotton balls inside each compartment.
Yes.
I put 2 cotton balls in each compartment. And then when I find a coin, I take the top cotton ball out, lay the coin in flat, stick the cotton ball on top, and put it back in my bag. And it doesn't shift around, doesn't bounce around too much. And it's good to go.
I do the same thing with Civil War buttons.
Yeah.
That's the exact same process.
Absolutely. When you have something that's fragile and delicate, you want to take care of it. You don't want to get all hog crazy on it right away. I know the excitement's there. Trust me, I know the excitement's there. What is it? What is it? But you gotta take a step back for a second, and you're going to enjoy it even more waiting that little extra time to get home and clean it properly. Cleaning stuff in the field, I really don't recommend it. Everybody's got their own way of doing things, and that's okay. I don't want to tell anybody what to do or how to enjoy the hobby, but my advice, my opinion is just wait till you get home, run it under some water, let the water do the work for you.
Right.
A lot of times that water decide your next step.
Yes.
And we've actually got a question in the chat wanting to know if we think that you can damage a coin with a brass probe.
With a brass probe. Well, metal on metal is never good.
No.
Right.
You never want to take anything metallic to a coin. It doesn't matter, to me, it doesn't matter if it's dug. Now, okay, let me rephrase that a little bit because, again, I look at coins from both sides of the spectrum. Now, when I dig a war nickels are usually so crusty, it is such a pain to get the crust off of those things. Now, I know those war nickels are circulated, they are basically worth their weight in silver, and that's it.
Right.
So I will take a brass brush to a war nickel. I don't care when it comes to that because a 35% silver war nickel, that's all it is. It's 35% silver. There's
Right.
no numismatic value to me when it comes to digging a war nickel out of the ground. I want to know what year it is. I want to know what mint mark it is. I don't care about scratches on it because I'm never getting rid of it anyway. But again, that's my opinion. That's the way I look at it.
Right.
Everybody's a little different.
Yeah.
Right, I see we got Al Fu in the house.
Shout out to Al's All Metal Detecting.
That's correct.
Another thing to keep in mind, like you said, when you rub that coin, if you look at it under magnification, because you may not see it with the naked eye, but when you look at it under magnification, it looks like your cat just went to town on it with a scratching post.
Yep.
And if you happen to be lucky enough to find one of those key dates or a rare coin,
16D mercury dime. Hey, Brandon. He just the guy from Dirt and Fish in America. He just
1854 Huge O.
Well, not only that, 1901.
Oh, the Barber Quarter.
Yeah, the 01S Barber
Yes.
Quarter, which is the key coin of the 20th century. That is more sought after than a 55 double die than an 09 SVDB put together. The 01S Barber Quarter is the coin of the 20th century to find.
And when you get coins like that, your best option is to have that thing certified. And when you send these coins in to have them certified, if you don't think they're not looking at that under magnification, you're fooling yourself.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
I have found, I find some mercs and I have found, I think, 4. I got them over here somewhere. They're all 1916s, but I just can't find the one that separates it from $1 to 1,000.
Yeah, yeah. That's I see a lot of scrap mercury dimes come into the shop. I go through them and I look for that, and I see a 16. I just set it off to the side, or if I see a 21, I'll set that off to the side. And the 42s, I set those off to the side. So you've got three pretty big dates that you need to look at when you're looking at your mercury dimes. Your 16D and your 21D are the two that are just simple to find, locate, as far as looking at the date and mint mark. And then in 1942, they made a boo-boo. They put the 2 over the 1 from 1941. And they never properly polished the die. So,
oh, man.
So you'll see a 1 running straight down the center of the 2. Now, you'll also find that on the 42D, but it's not as prominent as the 42 plain from Philadelphia. Right. So always look and see what you've got, and learn what some of the key dates are. Some of the
I got a question for you.
Okay.
Not to interrupt you. Sorry about that. There's another one that's easy to miss. That could be a costly one, and I believe it's a 1965 where they ran over and made a few of the 1965s with silver when they wasn't supposed to.
In what denomination? The quarters?
The dime.
I believe the dime.
And the dimes.
The dime.
Yeah, and that happened 2 other years too. That happened in 43 and 44. 43 we were making steel cents, and they had some copper planchets left over from the year before. A couple of them escaped the confines of where they were supposed to be kept and made it into the batch and got struck and got out. In 44, we were striking coins for Belgium. We were striking 2 franc coins, and they were struck on our leftover steel cent planchets.
Oh, wow.
So we were still striking. We struck many coins from many foreign countries, and the steel planchets were left over, and they were using those for the Belgian coins, and some of those made it into the mix with our pennies. So, I believe a couple of those got out, and that's another big boo-boo. Anytime you find, that's one of my favorite areas, is errors and varieties. So anytime you find a coin that is struck on an off metal, those are generally pretty good. I have a 79 nickel struck on a penny planchet.
Nice.
Yeah, and actually it's certified by NGC, and they gave it a what did they give it, a MS65 red. So I have a MS65 red nickel, and red is usually a designation left for pennies. Yeah, so it's kind of neat. But not only that, it was a defective planchet, so it was a twofer. It was a double error.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's kind of like
couple of things here. One, the particular dime and date I think I was talking about with an individual was a 65. I don't know that for sure, obviously. The other thing is, from the listeners here, Mr. Dirt Blicker wanted to talk about the 1955 double die Wheatie. A lot of counterfeits with that.
Yes, absolutely.
The hurricane scent.
Just to kind of touch base really quick on your 65, that's not a coin I'm familiar with. One of the best places to look for your oddball varieties like that is what's called the Cherry Picker's Guide. There's 2 volumes. The first volume covers cents through nickels, and then your volume 2 covers your dimes through dollars and gold and commemoratives. So those 2 books will tell you pretty much the best stuff to pick out and put away that's worth some money. And the most
And you will find the items in the Cherry Picker's Guides that you will not find in the Red Book.
Right.
Let
me break in here real quick. We want to give some prayers out to Super Drew, which is in the ER with chest pains right now. Super Drew is just a nice guy, man. Just tremendous. He loves the hobby. So let's all send him hey, let's recover and get out of there, and hope he's okay. So sorry about that, but I thought we needed to shout that out.
Yeah, absolutely. Wishing him a speedy recovery. That way he can get back out hunting.
Yeah, bud, get well. The 55 double die, yes. There are tons of counterfeits that you can find. The 55 double die is a very interesting coin. When those were discovered in New England. I forget which state they were in, but oddly enough, at the time, cigarettes were like 23 or 24 cents a pack. Well, the machines didn't give change. So you would put your quarter in the machine, you would select your pack of cigarettes, and your change was attached to your pack of cigarettes. So these 55 double dies were initially found on the packs of cigarettes as change. One of the diagnostics of that coin to know if it's real or not, and there are a couple diagnostics to look for, but the big one is on the reverse of the coin in the word cent, the letter T. If you're looking at the letter T under magnification on the overhanging part on what would be your left-hand side, it looks like there's a little fang coming down off of that T, which is a die crack. So you're looking for that imperfection that was in the die when that coin was struck to know if it's authentic or not.
Oh, I see. That makes sense. Definitely. If you happen to run across the 55 double die, your opinion, is that one that you should have certified or just leave as is?
You can do one of two things. You can go to a reputable dealer who you know and trust, and you can have them look at it and give you an opinion on it first. If you do not agree with that opinion necessarily, and they say, oh, no, I don't think it's real, but you think it is, and you swear up and down it is, you then can send it in to have it certified. Anytime you have a key date coin or a high value coin, your best bet is to have it certified and have it put in a holder for a couple reasons. One, with the key date coins, it guarantees their authenticity.
Right.
Because there's a lot of fakes with the 09 SVDBs. There's the 14 D penny is another key date they like to fake. They'll take a 1944 D penny and chop off part of the first four, or is it first four, and make it look like a 1.
Right.
So you have to be very cautious when you are buying and selling key date coins. Now, I'm kind of old school. I don't particularly care for my coins in my collection to be slabbed unless I'm buying a key date coin and I want to know the authenticity is legitimate. Now, you also have to be careful because they counterfeit the slabs. The Chinese have gotten out of hand, out of control. They have no laws restricting them from counterfeiting everything that is ours. Okay, so I'm seeing commemorative dollars, silver eagles, silver dollars, older seated dollars, bust dollars. I had somebody bring in an 1804 dollar. There's 4 known, and they're, it's getting ridiculous and out of hand. They're even counterfeiting large cents, seated quarters, just stupid things. Well, wow. Now they've been counterfeiting the PCGS holders, and PCGS has gone so far as to redesign their holder and put out a whole new holder. But one of the most important things to do anytime you buy a certified coin, if you have a smartphone and you're looking at a coin, if you're at a flea market and you're at a yard sale and somebody's got a coin collection and you want to verify that 55 double die in MS64 is a legitimate coin and a legitimate holder, get on your smartphone, go to that certification company's website, and plug in the serial number and verify that slab is legitimate. Because they'll show you a picture, and they'll show you they'll tell you the description of what's supposed to be in that holder. It'll say 1955 double die MS64, and it'll show you a picture of it. So you can verify PCGS, NGC, and ANAX, and I believe also ICG. You can verify all of them through their own personal websites.
Okay. And while we're on the subject of the certification and slabbing like that, is there, say, a bottom-end line on value where you should draw the line, like $75? You shouldn't have it slabbed.
Yeah, generally I tell folks, if your coin is not worth a minimum of $200, you really don't want to waste the money on it, because of a couple things. The coin doesn't hold a value in itself for much money, and then you're going to invest an additional, say, between $30 and $40 into having a coin certified. And when I say $30 to $40, that's your cost shipping it to them, the cost for the certification, the cost for the return shipping. It can get a little expensive. So if that coin, you're not doubling the value of the coin. The holder has zero value. So just because it's in a holder does not increase the value. It's the grade that the coin is given. Now, if you send a coin in and you think it's good and it comes back fine, yeah, your coin value increases because the grade has increased from what you were expecting. But you still have that cost of that certification. And most coins, say common date wheat pennies, there's no need to have even a wheat penny that's MS 65, 66, 67 from the 40s and 50s. There's no real value to them, but a few dollars. Right. So now you will have large coin dealers, major companies nationwide, even worldwide. They send in what's called bulk submissions, and they'll send in 10,000 coins at a pop, and they get a much better rate because they're sending them in, whereas the average public is not sending in that kind of quantity, so you're not going to get that kind of deal, and it's going to cost you 10 times what it costs them. So for a coin to have less than a $200 value, don't waste your time, unless it's, unless it's a key date that you need to have verified its authenticity. Dug coins. Now, I will say some dug coins I've seen come back with what I call body bagged or purple holders. The purple holders for NGC means there's some kind of damage to the coin.
Right, environmental damage.
Either that or improper cleaning or rim damage to graffiti. When you send in a love token to get graded, they basically send the coin back as it's got graffiti on it because that's to the coin. Anytime you have a coin that's got initials or something carved into it, it comes right back. Or it'll come back in what's called a body bag, and that basically means that they send it back in a little plastic baggie with a tag that says not suitable for encapsulation. We just had that instance with a coin that my brother sent in. It had excellent, beautiful details. It was a much better date Indian head penny, but it was green as the Jolly Green Giant. So they sent it back in the body bag, not suitable for encapsulation. Even though it had wonderful detail to it, they don't want to put their name on it.
And I assume in that situation, the money you spent to have it certified is gone. There's no refund.
No. Right. You send it in, they get paid whether it goes in their holder or not, because their grader is looking at it. Once their grader picks it up and looks at it, your money that you sent in is now theirs because they performed that service.
Has been provided.
Yes.
And say you do go through the process, you find a rare coin or a key date coin, odd variety like the Brandon's 1854 Huge O, and you decide at that point, okay, I know what it grades, I know what it's worth, and it's going to serve a better purpose to me to sell it. And you try to sell it through, say, an online auction, something like that. I've heard some people say that when you do that, you shouldn't post a picture of the slabbing barcode or number. Is there a specific reason, or is that just kind of old wives' tale? There's no problem with doing that.
No, I've never had any problems with doing that personally. Usually when I put a coin up for sale, say on eBay, I take a full frontal shot of the holder. I take a shot of the coin on the front, the back of the coin. I take a full shot of the back side of the slab, and then I do a single shot of the barcode and the serial number. When you're selling on eBay, they give you the option to plug in the certification serial number, which you have to do. Otherwise, they won't accept it as a certified coin. So, and it can get kicked off if you don't do that. So you have to have the serial number listed on the auction. You know, and one of their funky rules too is if you're selling a coin that has a value, I believe it's either $2,000 or $2,500, it must be certified. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I had a buddy of mine try to give me a chain set to put on eBay for him, and he wanted $6,000 for it. So I put it on, list it. 2 hours later, your listing has been removed due to violation of eBay policy. Your coin was not certified, and it was over $2,500 is what you wanted for it.
I got Mr. Duke Dillon here with a question. It says, so if a person found a key date penny in the condition just described, would it be better to have it cleaned and get the cleaned coin grade on it?
There are a couple other options. PCGS offers a service called restoration. You can pay them $50 and they'll do the best they can to restore the coin to what it's supposed to look like. You have to sign a waiver with them. If they screw it up, it's not their fault and they're not responsible for any loss or damage to the coin.
Obviously.
Yeah. So they're held harmless. Now sometimes they'll send it back to you and say, your coin's not conservable. We're sorry, we can't do anything with it. There are guys out there that professionally restore coins. There are guys out there that repair holes in coins. They do. The guy down in Tennessee, I think it's Tennessee, either Tennessee or Kentucky. There's a gentleman down there that does that. He repairs holes in coins, and he does some amazing, phenomenal work. You will never, ever know that coin had a hole in it. And some of his coins have gone through the grading services, and they never caught it. So,
Nice.
So I mean, there are people out there that'll do that. Now, as far as it depends on what you want to do with the coin, Duke. If you want to sell the coin, and it is a key date coin, if you can get it authenticated, you're better off having it authenticated. My first suggestion, before you go buffing it and polishing it and cleaning it up all crazy, just, do what you can to get the soap and, take some soap and water, get some of the crud and mud and dirt and funk off of it, and send it in that way first. If it's a silver coin, silver coins are easy enough to electrolyze and then redarken a little bit and send them in, and if it comes back improperly cleaned, it comes back improperly cleaned. But at least that way you'll have the guarantee that it is authentic. Say, like in the case of Brandon's 01 S Barber quarter, that came back with XF details. It also had a little bit of a cheek gouge to it. So it's a 50-50 shot, because if you spend the money to have it done, it could come back in a body bag, it could come back in a purple tag. I've seen Doug coins come back with normal designations on them. We had a guy from South Jersey brought a coin into the shop that we bought for $1,700. That was a Doug coin. It wasn't a key date, but it was a high grade. It was a better early type coin. He got a nice chunk of money out of it.
Yeah, which means
it does happen.
It means he took care of it after he pulled it out of the ground.
Absolutely.
So
you have to be careful in the field.
Absolutely. And your copper coins, any copper coin is going to come out of the ground with some sort of environmental damage or corrosion. They come out porous. I don't care if you shock them. I don't care if you cook them. I don't care if you baby them, love them, caress them, tell them how sweet they are. They are coming out of the ground. They have some sort of porosity to them. And never will you ever see a copper coin of any kind that I have ever seen come back from a certification company without some sort of environmental damage moniker on the tag, because they just, for 200 years in the ground on a large cent, it's going to get porous, and they're going to see that right away.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Even coins, even copper coins that haven't been in the ground come back with that. They've been misproperly stored in somebody's house down in a basement that's moist and humid, and the moisture's gotten into the coins and damaged the copper coins in the collection. So it's all about the environment that they come out of.
Yeah, what another great show, Josh. I mean, it's like I was telling you before, with both of us here and kind of different styles. The coins that I'll run across when I'm out is like a 3-cent piece, the little small silver 3-cent pieces, the half cents that you find in a lot of the camps, the older Indian heads. That's about what I run across. You know, a lot of good information here.
You know, talking about good information, one of the best publications to have in your arsenal of books when it comes to U.S. coins is the U.S. Red Book. A couple things to keep in mind about the Red Book is if you pick up a copy today, on the cover it's going to say 2016 edition. Now, that was printed in 2015, but the pricing was derived in 2014. So now a lot of your gold and silver coins, the pricing is derived on collectability and market value and gold and silver value in 2014. Now, obviously, if you've been following the gold and silver market, you know that we're way down. We're way down from where we were last year.
It's way down.
Way down. We're under $15 an ounce on silver. We're under $1,100 an ounce on gold. Okay? So it's way down from last year. There's no comparison in price. So when I tell folks what you're using the Red Book for is the Red Book you're using for information, for mintages, to be able to pick out which coins are the better dates and mint marks, and for the specifications and diagnostics of a particular coin. So the pricing on those, if you want to insure your collection, use the Red Book pricing because it's overpriced. If you're using that to buy and sell your coins, those prices are full retail prices, and they are absolutely absurd. You cannot go by the Red Book pricing. They are a guide, nothing more. They are not definitive market values. When you're looking at the list of, say you're looking at the list of early date wheat pennies, you're able to pick out which ones are the better dates and better mint marks by the pricing. You'll see $2, $2, $2, $40, then to $100, and when you start seeing those high numbers, you know that's a little bit better coin that you want to try to look for.
Right. But wouldn't you say right now, as far as the silver goes, selling just should probably be a later thought?
Right now is the worst time to sell silver and gold. Right now you want to buy as much as you can get your hands on.
Right.
Okay. You had guys buying silver at $20 an ounce, and they've been sitting on it, and the price has dropped to below $15 an ounce. So what I tell everybody to do is go out and buy some more at the lower price. Now, instead of your $20 silver costing you $20, it really only costs you about $17.
Right,
because
now
you
you
just
can average it out.
Yes, you just cost averaged what you bought at a higher price and brought your total investment amount down. And as it continues to go down, you continue to buy more. Do not sell when it drops down. If you don't have to. Hey, everybody gets strapped for cash sometimes, and it happens. I get folks in the shop every day that are hurting for money. They got bills they got to pay, and I will tell them, if you don't need to sell, don't sell it. But if you got something you got to do, you got something you got to do. Summertime, you got people that want to go on vacations and they want to fund their vacation, so they'll sell a couple bars of silver or a couple ounces of gold or whatever they're doing. A new roof on the house. You know, they sell their stuff to get this stuff taken care of. And it's unfortunate that they have to lose on it. The gold and silver market is a 50-50 shot. It's like playing the stock market. It's like playing the lottery. There's no guarantee. No guarantee if it's going to go up, when it's going to go up, if it's going to go down, when it's going to go down.
Now you're playing the stock market. And, you know, with me, as far as the silver goes, when I get a chance to hit the old homes, like the old Victorian homes, stuff like that, in different areas I go, the silver coins I find, and I may have something in here that's kind of maybe worth more than I think, because I'm not like you. My knowledge is with the Civil War stuff. So when I see a silver coin and I dig it, I'm as excited as anything else. But I'll run water over it and I'll put it up. And I don't think monetary on anything that I find. That's just me, though. I'm
going to tell you right now, I agree with you wholeheartedly, but because I'm on both sides of the spectrum as a collector and as a detectorist, all my dug coins are in 2x2s, in albums on my shelf. I don't look at them as silver. I don't look at them as scrap metal. That's my found treasure, and that is on my shelf. It's put away. I've got certain things displayed. I've got display cases out the wazoo throughout the house, full of stuff.
Right, because it's as me and Jock, we were talking the other night. You know, when you lose, let's say you find, well, let's really top it off, a Morgan, or you find a seated Liberty somewhere. I mean, that wasn't a good day for somebody, because back then that was, you know, they needed that. I mean, that was, they had to go home and say, man, I lost that coin, man. I needed that coin. So, you know, to me, it's got already a relationship to some kind of connection with someone. I just, that's what I'm into, man. I just put that sucker up and that's it.
You know, it's funny you mentioned Morgans. That is still one coin on my bucket list.
It is for a lot of us.
But weirdly enough, I dug it. It's either 1895 or 1898. It's a German 5 mark. It's the same size as a silver dollar, same silver content as a silver dollar, but it's not a U.S. silver dollar.
Wow.
Right. I found a Carson City. I have to look at the date. And then I found one more I actually have a video on around a homestead that had a big old oak tree. And I'm telling you, if you took a tape and went around this oak tree, it'd probably been 18 foot. I mean, just a monstrous tree. And I found one next to that tree. Along with some spoons. They had some silver spoons. There was a whole home site. And I just walked across it in the woods. I was about 3 miles back in and found that tree. I marked that one off my bucket list, but there's a bunch more that's still on it.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody's got them. You know, I'm trying to think what else is still on my bucket list besides that. I want to say gold coins. I've never dug a gold coin. So that's definitely one on my bucket list. Now, I was out with my buddy Eric Fries, and we had been busting his chops. We've been busting his chops for years because he had never found a mercury dime. Well, he finally found one. But we were out probably a year or two ago. It might have been last year. We were at a park south of Philadelphia, and he said he had gotten a signal. And he said, you know, I almost didn't dig it because it sounded too good. It was too close to the surface, and it was too big. He goes, I really thought it was an aluminum can. Well, it was a Morgan. And I'm just like, aren't you glad? He goes, you know, this park has been pounded and pounded and pounded. He goes, how many guys have been over this, probably thought this was an aluminum can and just left it there?
That's why I have 4 words. Dig it all, baby.
Yeah. You can't discount, you know, what you might think is an aluminum can, because it doesn't always turn out to be the case. And then maybe not 20 minutes later, I pulled a 1773 Virginia half cent, probably about 100 yards from where he dug that silver dollar.
Wow.
So, I mean, it was just 2 awesome coins on the same day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you got to listen to that detector, though. If it's picked in, I mean, for one, you got to know it. If you don't know your detector, you're wasting your time. Spend some time on it, get to know that machine, and also keep in mind it's picking up metal. It's not a perfect machine. That's why we have so many selections of machines. If there was a perfect one out there, everybody'd be doing it. Dig that signal. If I'm getting a dollar signal, I'm digging it. You know, if I'm getting a real high tone, I'm digging it, no matter what.
603, you're on the air. Who do we have?
Hey, Digger Matty. What's up, guys?
Dirt Flicker.
How's it
Dirt
going?
Flicker, yes. Awesome show. Awesome guest.
Well, thank you.
I don't know what to say. I love you guys. Guys are awesome.
Hey, thanks, man.
Very entertaining.
Thanks,
very entertaining.
We just try to wing it for the benefit of the hobby.
You're doing a good job at it.
We try to do what we can, and Drew's definitely go first.
Double dive, the 55 double dive for your guest.
Mm-hmm.
They are pushing a bunch of these out of China right now.
Oh, China's horrible.
My dad collects these pennies, these wheat pennies, and all he needs is a real 55 double die.
I had one in my hand 2 nights ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And hey,
I've seen so many from China. My poor dad, you know, he's getting older and he just wants one.
I had the one I had in my hand the other night was in an NGC holder, and I believe it was an MS-63 Brown, and the guy wanted $2,500 for it.
Yeah.
I was so close to saying okay, but I passed on it. I said, no, I'll find. You could actually get them at a really reasonable price if you look around.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
You
I
can.
know, but all I've seen is counterfeits. I mean, they're pushing these counterfeits. They're everywhere, man.
Well, the counterfeits, they actually. Okay, we've got the Hobby Protection Act. I think it's like 1979 or whatever it was. Well, as of December of 2014, Congress readjusted that and passed some additional laws to where don't get caught bringing that stuff into our country anymore. You will suffer heavy fines and you will go to prison. The stuff that's already here, it's here, and they will continue to sneak it into the country either way.
Well, there's a lot of it here.
Oh, there's a ton of it. I've got.
And I know you know that.
I have a whole collection of nothing but counterfeit items that I use for educational purposes. We struck Statue of Liberty silver dollars in 1986. I've got ones that say 1906.
Right.
You know, I mean, they're not even good counterfeits.
Tough, right? It's tough.
So,
I know.
So, you know, yeah, be cool. My best advice is if you really want to find one, find yourself a reputable dealer that you trust. Go to a local coin show. Find a local coin club. Network with some people, and that's really going to be your best avenue. I'd be glad to find you one, but you know, I don't know. I'd have to go on a seek and search mission, and you know, it wouldn't be a problem. But
No, well, I know it's going to be expensive, but I mean, it's the last one he needs, and he's, you know, in his 60s, late 60s.
I'll tell you right now. Hang on. See, what I go by, we were talking about the red book, and what I work off of is the gray sheet, and the gray sheet is the dealer to dealer pricing basically, and it's the most current. It's updated weekly, monthly, and quarterly depending on what the coin is. Now, the cheapest 55 double die is going to run you somewhere between $850 to $950.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah, and
a real one. Yeah,
yes,
a real one.
Yes.
They're trying to get that, you know, they're trying to pass these fakes off, and these fakes, they're looking pretty good these days.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous.
They really are. I mean, they're pretty clever.
Yeah, they are. But again, it's because they don't have any laws over there saying that they're not allowed to counterfeit.
We know they're coming from China. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, that's the last one he needs. So that's why I brought that up. But anyways, awesome show.
Dirk, yeah, thank you,
always.
man. Thanks for the shout out. And you know what, man? What if you dug one?
I may have dug one. I've got a whole jar full of weeds that I don't even.
But wouldn't it be something?
I don't look at half of them.
This hobby is so great, and things happen in this hobby. How cool would it be to go out and you know that coin's already on your mind? So if you're digging a weedy now, you're going to be looking at it real close. So what if you would dig that coin and say, "Here, pops, bam"?
Well, if I dig it, I know it's real.
Hey,
that's the good thing.
If
I dig it, I know it's real, right? That's what I do. I dig.
Well, you know,
it's possible.
For the adventure.
And it's possible you could dig one. I mean, people find key date coins in the ground.
Yeah,
I hadn't got to your videos yet, man, but I'm going to. Somebody told me you had some good videos, so I'm going to go check those out, brother.
I appreciate it, guys, but let's not take the thunder away from your guests. You are awesome, dude. I listened to the whole show. Very good. Awesome, Josh. You guys do a great job. Love you guys. All right,
thanks.
Well, thank you.
Have a great night.
And you too. Thanks for the call.
You know, the only problem with one of the things I want to buy for my dad is I'm never going to dig an entire 1947 proof set out of the ground.
Probably not.
No, and
That's
they're
true.
not, and they're probably close to the $2,000 to $3,000 range by themselves. So yeah, I'm not digging one of those anytime soon.
Right. Yeah, that's when you got to look at things from a realistic perspective.
Got a
you may
question?
be able to dig a key date here or there, or even a semi-key, something like that, but you're not going to dig a full proof set.
Got a question from a listener.
Okay.
Mr. Gary wants to know, on a fake, does anyone know how the ID numbers compare to the real one?
As far as the holders go, I assume?
I would probably assume, yes.
Okay. Usually what they'll do is the serial numbers will actually be be a legitimate serial number, but a totally different coin comes up on the identification. So when you say you go to PCGS's website, you hit in a serial number, and you're looking at an 1895 Morgan dollar in your hand, but a 1909 penny comes up as the as the picture on PCGS's website.
Yes, 3:30. You're on the air. Who do we have?
Hey, Gary Heckman, how you doing? Is this Josh?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Josh, I got a question for you. On those fake coins, okay? How would they compare? Let's talk about a 1955 double dater. How would it compare in ID numbers? Let's say on a 3030 to a fake as opposed to original. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, how does the signal compare?
How would the ID numbers? With the ID numbers, you know what I'm saying?
It all depends. It all depends on what they're making the fake out of. If they are altering another 1955 penny, it's not going to have any difference.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same.
So I didn't think that they would be altering the penny. I just thought they would be making them from scratch.
Well, they can. It depends on how they do it. They make cast counterfeits, they make struck counterfeits, and then they have altered counterfeits. So, like one of the examples they used was a 1914 D wheat penny. Okay, they would take a 1944 D wheat penny and alter the first 4 in the date to make it look like a 1. So So you now have a 1944 D penny that's now a 1914 D penny. But you got to remember, the composition of the earlier wheat pennies is different than that of the 44 to 46.
That's
okay?
right.
This is where reading a red book and learning the different things is going to come in handy to help you know what kind of metal you're searching for. Because the early wheat pennies are bronze, the 43s are steel, 44 to 6 are made out of reclaimed ammunition shells, and then 47 on they resumed the original composition again.
In that aspect, they will ring up differently.
Yes.
You understand what I was getting at was if somebody doctors up let's say a 55 double D, I mean, what would the original ID numbers be as opposed to the fake? You know, has anybody run that test?
I would say if they doctored it up, odds are very, very well that is going to ring up so similar on your detector that you're not going to be able to tell a difference.
But nobody's done that test, right?
I won't say that they haven't, but if they have, I'm not aware of it.
I see another YouTube video coming up sometime in the future.
I know, yeah, and I might have to go borrow a real 1955 double die from a friend of mine now.
Yeah, Drew's thinking over there is, get the detector out, fire up the camera, let's see what we can do, get some information.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see how they ring up, if they ring up totally different because,
Yeah, I agree, Gary, because what gets me is the one he said that was made out of shell casings. I dig a lot of shell casings, but I've never had one of them to come up as a coin.
Right.
Yeah.
Might even be a nice little video addition to include in a upcoming P&L for Detect America.
Oh.
It's just some food for thought that I was just wondering if anybody had done that. It would be nice to see what's possibly going on with them.
All right.
Well, like I said, this is the type of point where the knowledge of the composition of the metal that's supposed to be in the coin comes in handy. And a book like having a red book would tell you what that composition is supposed to be, where you can get something of a similar composition, the exact same composition, run it under your coil and take the item that you feel is, of the same thing, like the 55 double die, run it on, and if it rings up totally different, Now, I've experienced guys digging older copper coins. And I've talked to Dave Wise up in Connecticut about this. The counterfeit coins of yore, they ring up different than a genuine copper coin. It's all about the metal.
And that's what I was getting at.
And let's not forget, we had counterfeit coins in the past, too.
Well, there's been counterfeit coins ever since coins was made.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But here's something you could do, Josh. You could buy one of every metal detector, and then take a 55 original and a 55 fake, and then you could check every one of them and post all the numbers for every machine.
Right. I may have to leave that to Drew, though. I think he's got a little more access to those kinds of coins than I do.
Yeah.
So he may be the better guy for the job.
But it would be nice. It would be I would be curious to see how they ring up.
Absolutely. So would I.
If we get our 55 with our CTX and it comes in at 1239 or 1238, 1239, then you got another one that says 1230. We know that there's something totally wrong there.
Well, that is a very interesting point. So
it is.
And the gentleman, the 55 double die that I was playing with the other day belongs to a very good friend of mine. So I may actually be able to do something with that and run that, because the holder that it's in is nothing but pure plastic, so that's not going to interfere.
Right, that's not going to skew the signal.
Right, that's not going to interfere with it at all, so it's not going to cause us to have any variation.
And if you don't have a AT Pro, you can send it to me, and I'll tell you what I said with an AT Pro. No return address needed either.
Well, I'm pretty sure Drew's got plenty of access to detectors as well.
All right, guys, thank you. I really enjoy your shows. I appreciate it. And then we know by asking these questions, so thank you very much.
Thanks for the call.
All right, bye-bye.
And he did bring up a good point. That's an interesting subject there. We may have to look into that a little further. That is good food for thought.
Yes, it is. Because it's not something we think about every day. Is what is the composition of that going to ring up at? Because it's not too often that people have access to that kind of stuff.
Right, like I was saying, you're in a better position to have access to those items to possibly attain that information.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
And knowing your machine's one thing, but I keep reminding people that I know my machine. I know when what a quarter sounds like, and I know what this, and I'm like, listen, guys, your machine, your machine, but in reality, the area you're digging is telling you what it is. Because if let's say I'm out in the Civil War area, most likely my mid-tone there on my machine is probably going to be a bullet, only because of where I'm at.
Right. Well, because the environment plays a huge role in what numbers and what sound that particular target's going to give off. Some places I get one set of numbers on my E-track for the older wheat pennies, and some places I get a higher number on my E-track for those older wheat pennies. It all depends on the ground conditions in the ground.
Correct.
So, I mean, you've always got variables whenever you're out detecting. There's always variables, and there's always going to be that one variable that you didn't think of. So, like you said, your best bet is to just dig as much as humanly possible and and not only that, when you do that, you're clearing the garbage out of the way.
Thank you. Yes, because I call it the layers of history. Because you know what? There's been a lot of traffic, a lot of things between the Revolutionary War and the present, for an example, and you just got to peel it away. It's not all going to be, you see the videos, including mine, but you see the videos of these finds you're making, and a lot of times they don't see all the square nails. They don't see all the other junk that comes out of the ground. And some of my videos show that because it's just real. That's what happens. Not everything you dig up is what you're looking for. That's why this is such a great hobby, is because you don't know what's there. I'm excited about pulling this out of the ground.
Right, and I'm sure you two would agree. I would rather dig a pull tab or an aluminum can than to wonder if I walked on a gold ring or a silver dollar.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, you know what they say. Metal detecting is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Right. Yeah, and you got to look at it, too. I've told this story once. I saw a guy had dug up a little round thing there, and he's like, oh, man, and don't let the area trick you, because it dug up some cans, I dug up some old ration cans, which was impressive to me. That's just a piece of research that's telling you're in the right place. So he throws it over there, and I was watching it, and I'm like, no. I went over there, sure enough, and I picked it up, put it in my pocket, because when it hit the ground, I knew it wasn't a can. Put it in my pocket. We got back to the truck, and I said, why don't you throw the bottom of that can away? He said, well, it's just trash. I said, well, here it is, and it was an Eagle breastplate. So you got to just pay attention, man.
Right.
And, know what you're digging.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Frank was out with a guy sometime last year, and he dumped out all his trash onto a table, and he had a, what do they call that, a snake buckle?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Whoa.
Yeah, he had a snake buckle that he threw in the trash pile.
Oh.
Yeah, you want to see some of those? Just look at Butch Holcomb stuff.
Yeah.
He dug a few of those.
Yeah.
Always double check. Well, I think though that Gary did bring up a good point. I know you've got access to the coins and the machines and a lot of years of experience with the rest of the Detect America bunch. That might be a good topic for you guys to follow up on.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that absolutely, that is a great topic, and I'll have to get with Frank on that because obviously I don't have a CTX. He does. Gene's got an AT Pro, I believe. If he doesn't, I know Frank does. Joe DeMarco's got
get a hold of Joe.
Joe DeMarco's got every machine because he's a dealer. So so we have access to all the machines. Yeah, we could actually play around with that and see what coins sound like on the machines.
Right.
Very nice. That would be that would get a lot of hits.
I would think that would make for some cool video.
Yes.
And you know what? Not only that, you'd get some knowledge out of it.
303, you're on the air. Who do we
Hey,
have?
this is Jeff Luber from the Relic Roundup. How you doing?
Jeff Luber.
Jeff, what's
Yes,
going
sir.
on, brother?
Hey, I was just listening in, and you guys are talking about, people putting stuff in their trash pouches and trash. And, before my first trip to England, I bought, I think, 3 or 4 different books on English coins. I got the magazine The Searcher. I studied and studied and studied of things that I was hoping to find. Didn't necessarily find it, but things I was hoping to find. And if people go out there and they want to go out relic hunting for, Civil War stuff, get some reference books, study them, know what you're digging up, just like you're saying. Gosh, I couldn't imagine throwing away an Eagle breastplate and thinking it's a piece of can.
Yeah, it
Right.
happened, man. It happened.
Killing me,
You know
man.
what? The
That
guy
would
looked
be a
at
hard
the guy
pill to
looked at
swallow.
me. The guy looked at me and says, "Man, thanks." And I said, "Man, just slow down." He hadn't been detecting very long, and it was the assumption because it's got the ground action on it. He couldn't see an eagle. He got it out. It was round. He just assumed because he's dug the real bottoms of them, and that same day, and he did the assumption of it. He threw it away.
Well, and none of that, but, take your trash with you.
Oh,
My goodness.
yeah.
You know what? If you're going to come back to that site, or even if you're cleaning up the environment, but you know what? If you're out there digging, maybe someone else, your buddy comes back the next week, don't let them pick that up for you.
Right,
Take it out
right.
with you. If you already spent the effort and the time to dig it up, take it out with you.
Yeah, and we had that conversation as well when we get into all that. But yeah, you gotta do it. And you know what? Some of that stuff that you dig out that a lot of people call trash, if you look at it close, it could be another piece of history other than what you're looking for. All that stuff's neat, and it's got its place in history.
Right.
Absolutely.
And honestly, I have a collection of horseshoes of different sizes, different shapes. You know what? A lot of people think of that as trash and want to check those when they get home, but for some reason, you know what? They were a mode of transportation. They were essential to how this country was.
They are,
together,
Jeff.
so.
They are, Jeff, and I got a guy over here I gave a bunch of them to, and he made a table out of it. I'll take a photo of that, and I'll post it on... No, I ain't kidding you. He's got the stand made out of the horseshoes, and he's got the brace for the table on it, and I'll actually take a photo of that, and I'll post it on Facebook.
There you go.
That
And it
sounds
goes
cool.
to
I'd love
show-
to see it, man.
And it goes to show the caliber and integrity of some people. Your buddy that was hunting with you can rest easy knowing that he was definitely with a good hunting partner that day, because somebody else could have just as easily stuck it in their pocket and not said anything.
Well, and that's the ethics side of our hobby. you do what you think is right as your own individual character takes you. And, you know, you hope you make the right decisions. But the whole point of it wasn't even the breastplate at that point. It was trying to teach this guy, hey, you need to slow down, pay attention to what you're getting, quit trashing up the place. You know, if you dug it, put it in your pouch. That day was a good day for him because he learned a lesson.
You know, and I want to kind of
sit back and listen to the rest of the show. So,
All right.
have a good.
All right, thanks,
All
sir.
right, thanks for having me on, guys.
Yes, sir.
Anytime.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Later.
I want to kind of touch on Jeff's point a little bit though, where he's talking about, you know, going to England and having those books and those reference guys. You know, I can't preach it enough to everybody. You really need. You are even more powerful with a huge reference library.
Absolutely.
A reference library is a must, even if you're going to local library book sales, picking up older editions for 25 cents or $1 a piece. You find them at yard sales. Any kind of reference book on the subject matter that you're dealing with, whether it be coins, Civil War artifacts, I mean, hell, if you're into postage stamps, you know, you're only as strong as your knowledge.
All right. Well, I think we've definitely covered some good information. We've ran on a little longer, but I think that's okay. It's always all right when you're having a good time. And as far as I know, WNL will be following unless something's changed. I'm not sure. I haven't seen Facebook or anything to know. Before we go, though, any last thoughts where people can find you? Plug the Detect America show?
Yeah, check out Detect America Live Friday nights at 8:30-ish on livestream.com. And if you can't watch the videos, you can find us on 1000 Mics. We've been getting better. I mean, you know, I got to deal with a bunch of handicapped old guys, you know, so they're a little slow, so that's why we're late sometimes, you know. But just now that I know that they can't blame me anymore, it's all good.
There you have it. There you have it. Hey, just remember, we're all in it for the same thing, man.
Absolutely.
Spreading the good deeds of the hobby and the people who dig it.
Anything else to add, Drew?
No, this has been a lot of fun. We've been talking about doing something like this for several months, and I'm glad we were able to finally get it together and do it. And sounds like you got a great bunch of listeners on your program and some great questions, and I really enjoyed myself. So if anybody has any additional questions for me at any point in time, please don't ever hesitate to send me a PM. If there's something that you need, something that you're looking for, always feel free to let me know. If you have need something certified, want some advice on where to go, who to use, if you need to locate a dealer close to you, or you want to have it done through our shop, just, you know, shoot me a PM on Facebook, and I'll do the best I can to help you out.
All right. And don't forget to like the show and comment and rate the show. I think Frank and others is probably waiting on Mr. Drew.
Well, and speaking of the show, by all means, like Kenny said, if you enjoyed the show, rate the channel. And speaking of liking, people may have saw that I was sharing a video earlier this afternoon, late morning, I'm not sure what time it was. Appreciate the support of people liking and sharing that. It is definitely appreciated. And before we go, another website to maybe check out. New website on the horizon, metaldetectorrental.com. Maybe a chance if you own multiple detectors, maybe you'd like to check out the site. Maybe you can offer some of those up for rent and, you know, make a little bit of side money for yourself. Maybe be able to get that extra pen pointer or coil you've been looking for from
just try it before you buy it.
Yeah, that's another good point too. Absolutely. For everyone else, though, Drew, it has been an absolute pleasure, sir. We appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us. We hope the listeners have enjoyed it. We will definitely return next week. Who knows what the topic will be? Who knows where the show's going to go? You just never know around here.
That's right.
Always got to keep them guessing, keep them on their toes. We're going to roll out of here, and we'll see everybody next week.
Dig it all, baby.